this the place you were talking about? The base of Irminsul? Well, this is the place. We're here to find Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, right? But the one standing over there is... Is that... me? She looks exactly like me. Are you Greater Lord Rukkhadevata?
Yes, that's me. Are you surprised by my appearance? Irminsul and the surrounding lands have been reproduced here as they were years ago. But this is just a realm of consciousness. We are manifestations of the same nature. Hence why we would appear exactly the same.
We're of the same nature? Why?
Because you are me, and I am you. You are me in the new samsara.
The new samsara?
As Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, I'm the avatar of Irminsul, and you are the purest branch snapped from Irminsul. Imagine it this way. Even if a tree dies, its branches will eventually take root and grow, continuing the tree's life in another form. I'm merely the remaining consciousness of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. The real me has presumably died a long time ago. Judging from your appearance, I've probably been dead for 500 years. But you're finally here. My new self in the samsara.
If this is true, then am I going to be a great archon like you someday?
Though we share the same nature, our fates are bound to be different. All things have their own fate. When a branch grows into a mature tree, it won't be the same as the original tree.
That's why fate is the ultimate knowledge, isn't it?
That's a great insight. Yes, very good. It's also precisely why you won't become like me.
Really?
But perhaps you may become an even greater archon than I. I already see a determination in you that I didn't possess in my time, and the future that it leads you to will be yours alone, along with the blessings from your past experiences. Don't worry. The growth of wisdom is like that of a plant. You only need to wait quietly for the flower to bloom.
Come to think of it, the sages never had the faintest inkling of the meaning of wisdom. Thank you. Nothing makes me happier than discovering that the archon I always admired was in fact myself in another fate. It's so nice to speak with you, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. I've always wanted to meet you.
The feeling is mutual. From the moment I snapped the branch off Irminsul and created you, I've also looked forward to talking with you.
Could you tell me why you wanted to create me? And what exactly happened when you died?
Ah, I see. You're here seeking answers, right? Everything that day, even the sky itself, changed into a color like this. At that time, the seven were all summoned to the nation of Conria, except for me. I had a more important task to attend to. I had to protect Irminsul. The disaster occurred together with the pollution of forbidden knowledge. At that very moment, with my consciousness connected to Irminsul, I sensed something was wrong. The pain started to torment my mind. By the time I reached Irminsul, it was already displaying signs of corruption. Had I not repelled the pollution of forbidden knowledge with King Deshret thousands of years ago, I might have felt even more hopeless and lost.
So what exactly is forbidden knowledge?
It's a kind of knowledge that doesn't belong to this world, and a form of truth that can't be understood. It came from the very bottom of the abyss. Even I could never understand it. The world is constantly rejecting it, leading to all kinds of bad phenomena. If we allow forbidden knowledge to pollute Irminsul, I'm afraid the entirety of Teyvat could fall apart.
So, there's knowledge that even the God of Wisdom can't understand?
At that time, I knew I couldn't repel the forbidden knowledge with my strength alone. Which is why I created a device that compiled human wisdom and named it the Akasha.
It's truly the world's most amazing invention.
Thank you. For a long time, I thought dreams were the fruit of human wisdom. Though it was selfish to do so, I borrowed people's dreams using the Akasha. Then I compiled their wisdom and all of my own power.
Well, did it work?
Thanks to the wisdom of the people of Sumeru, almost all the forbidden knowledge was cleared from Irminsul. But things didn't go as smoothly as I thought. I had a terrible headache, which gave me an uneasy feeling. And then I remembered that my consciousness was also connected with Irminsul. It brought me knowledge and wisdom, but vile corruption as well. From the very beginning, my existence had been polluted by the forbidden knowledge.
Oh no. How could that happen? I've experienced that pain in your consciousness. It must have been a horrible experience.
Yes, but my feelings weren't important. The important thing was that even if I died, my existence and everything related to me would continue to exist in Irminsul as memories and knowledge, meaning that the forbidden knowledge couldn't ever be permanently eradicated. And there's no way for me to eliminate myself. It would be a sort of paradox. So, I took the purest branch of Irminsul as my incarnation in the next samsara, and left a trail of clues, all in hopes that you would come here and remove me and my pollution from Irminsul forever.
Wait, no, I can't.
So you realize what that implies. You are very smart indeed. Irminsul has all the knowledge and memories of this world. And as you've realized just now, removing me from Irminsul means I essentially will never have existed in this world. But this is the only way to save Irminsul.
People love you so much and they've missed you so much over the past 500 years. I am exactly the same. So how can we just forget you like this? Is there really no other way? There must be something else I can do.
You're the god of wisdom, Booer. You should know that there is no other way.
But this is so cruel. I don't want to forget you.
No need to feel so sad, Booer. As someone who delights in wisdom, you should feel joy at finally finding the answer. These are the words in their entirety, the answer you've been seeking all along. Let the world completely forget me. We all nestle under the great tree of wisdom, peering out to perceive the world. From the earth and from the rain, we perceive its wonders, until we become a white bird to perch atop a branch, and finally snap off the most important leaf. Once upon a time, I alone dreamed in this world. In my dreams, everybody would also dream after they fell asleep. Wild and wonderful thoughts would emerge from their minds. Some tumbled to the ground, and others floated to the sky, connecting all things in the world into one dazzling net. Among a plethora of worlds were numerous smaller worlds, all of fate, finding within the tapestry their brilliant glow. I gradually understood that these indescribable and constantly changing things are the most profound things in the world. Only they can completely repel the madness. Only dreams can awaken consciousness from the deepest darkness. I'm the one who posed this question, yet also the one who sought a solution. Saving the world with the dreams of the people used to be my answer. And now, you've also found your own answer, and I shall return all the dreams to the people. Goodbye, people of Sumeru. May you be blessed tonight with the sweetest of dreams.
I'm alright. I'm just a little confused. We've just saved the world, right? So why am I crying? I don't know where this feeling inside of me is coming from, but I feel very sad. Just now, we used the power of two gnosis to successfully connect with the Irminsul consciousness from 500 years ago. Then, we removed the remaining pollution from Irminsul. Yeah, what's wrong? Weren't you there just now? Huh? That sound. Traveler! Paimon!
I've been waiting here far too long. But finally I have the chance to be alone with you. All the precious time I wasted has finally paid off.
The doctor! What have you done?
Just a type of sound wave that can quickly put defenseless people into a dream. As I expected, it doesn't have any effect on gods. This is the only thing of interest I found among the sage's research. I thought I'd take it for a little spin. Don't worry. I know you would never forgive me if I actually killed them. I'm here to negotiate with you. Naturally, I won't do anything dangerous that could potentially damage our relationship.
Negotiate with me? I heard you had already left Sumeru. Why are you here again now?
I left Sumeru, but I also stayed in Sumeru. Even the God of Wisdom is restricted by the habits of cognition. How disappointing.
You mean there are many different versions of you in this world?
An astute guess. Even the same individual will have different cognitions at different ages. A long time ago, I made a major decision in hopes of preserving all my perspectives of how I observe the world. Observation is the first step of any experiment, but observing the current world doesn't satisfy me. It lacks an important dimension, that of time. So I saved segments of all my ages and made them into independent individuals. That's all there is to it. Indulge me. How does the God of Wisdom find my method of seeking knowledge?
It's an insult to the very concept of life. Life inherently has many rules and restrictions, each with its own significance and reason to exist. They can't be broken on a whim.
Good. Amazing, even. Indeed, it's difficult for humans to make peace with themselves, not to mention oneself from a different period.
Since you're in the academia, why wait until now to show up? You could very well have stopped us and helped that fake god.
Simple. Let me ask you this. Would any staff member ever help the subject in the middle of an experiment? It was my experiment. So why should I interfere with the results?
The academia saw the plan to create a god as their ultimate goal, yet you only saw it as an ordinary experiment. You really are crazy. If the experiment succeeded, you would have had a new god on your hands. How would you have faced your own god then? Would you still take the same stance? Would you still hold the same view of yourself?
I'm first and foremost a scholar. These results should be left to the judgment of the hypothetical me confronted with that outcome. But you're right. And that's exactly why I'm disappointed with the conclusion of this experiment.
As an individual, you don't have any sense of belonging. You seem to have even fewer convictions than a typical scholar.
Oh no, I certainly have my own convictions. They just don't fit your standards, that's all. All right, that's enough conversation for today. The experiment is over, and it's time to tidy up the equipment and reclaim any useful materials. For example, the Gnosis. Lesser Lord Kusanali, you're an intelligent Archon. I'm sure you understand the disparity in our combat abilities at this time. Besides, you have no way to use that electro-gnosis in battle.
Didn't you say you were here to negotiate with me? Somehow, it's starting to seem like you intend to take it by force now.
I'm merely stating a fact. After all, I'm also a scholar. Naturally, I hope to show proper respect and dignity to the God of Wisdom.
Your hypocrisy is built on absolute confidence. I understand your scheme, but... what if I were to destroy the Gnosis now and awaken the heavenly principles?
Awaken the heavenly principles? Do you think that's really possible?
The heavenly principles have been silent for many years, but the Gnosis are symbols of their control over Tevat and all the laws. Will the destruction of a Gnosis attract the attention of the heavenly principles? And if so, how do the Fatui plan to deal with the consequences? Do you dare to gamble such a possibility with me?
Gamble? How surprising. I thought you would show evidence or use rigorous reasoning to prove your point. The word gamble is the last thing I expected to hear from the god of wisdom. But this is a clever move. You must have seen through me when I first captured your consciousness. As a scholar, I respect all possibilities. This has always been my principle and is an essential trait as an experimenter. Indeed, I can't ignore this possibility. So tell me then, what are your conditions?
This foreign gnosis will only lead to disaster if it stays in Sumeru. But this electro-gnosis is the prize I obtained after defeating one of your fellow harbingers. Now, as the one who initiated this cascade of events, shouldn't you pay the corresponding price?
Price? Interesting. What price would you have me pay?
How about erasing all your other segments?
So this is how you wish to restrict me, the most threatening opponent of the Nation of Wisdom. What you request of me is like plucking out the eyes I have placed in the dimension of time. Segments are extraordinarily difficult to make. They require extremely rare resources and enormous amounts of time and effort, requiring me to destroy them all here and now. Bravo. A suitably wise decision on your part. Yes, how very interesting. Can I assume that you have long been wary of me? Among all the versions of me, this segment you see now is the most selfish. If it weren't me, your idea wouldn't have worked. What did you see when you were imprisoned? You were observing me, and that's how you know I've long grown tired of their doubts and endless arguments.
Like you said, it's difficult to make peace with yourself. Being as smart as you are, have you managed to do that?
I see. If you think all those versions of me are worth a gnosis, then deal.
You sure didn't hesitate much. Is the relationship between all the versions of you really that bad?
I don't think there's any need to dwell on that. The surplus versions of me can be exchanged for a gnosis. Do you think anyone can offer themselves at a higher price? Besides, with my abilities, it's only a matter of time until I find better perspectives. Perhaps it's best to say, you're just temporarily ahead. But what I'd like to know is, how can you be sure that I've really erased them?
I can see your remaining honesty.
What a ridiculous decision!
Sheer
You can't be
foolishness.
serious!
How could I have been so short-sighted?
You think this is the end? Wait, I'll have my revenge!
You'll make
Good
this
riddance.
moment count.
You will regret this!
Well, have you confirmed that it's complete?
Here, take it. The future of Sumeru City will be in my hands alone. I will shut down the Akasha and let curiosity and the thirst for knowledge drive the realm of academics once again. There won't be any further gaps for you to exploit.
It truly pains me that my academic achievements have never been appreciated in my homeland. Of course, I have no interest in being rejected by this city for a third time. Another chess piece. And where is your dendronosis?
Don't be greedy, Harbinger of Snezhnaya.
No, this is a different transaction. If you intend to turn off the Akasha anyway, then there's no further use for the Gnosis of Sumeru, is there? Besides, isn't it the Archon's duty to deliver what's desired of the Seeker? Oh, judging from your expression, you don't seem to find the idea very agreeable. Then let's think of it this way. Since you're the god of wisdom, how about I exchange some knowledge with you?
People exchanging knowledge with the god of wisdom is the stuff of legends. Yet here you wish to exchange knowledge for the god of wisdom's property. Arrogant as that is, it has piqued my interest.
Let me ask you, have you in all your mighty knowledge ever heard the rumor that the skies of Tevat are fake?
Huh?
That's the secret hidden by Irminsul concerning the truth of this world. Once I finish telling you about this, it will be time for me to say goodbye. With negotiations, we've all gotten what we wanted. I'm very glad I got to meet you like this.
Your arrogance may know no bounds, and convictions may mean nothing to you. But I'll still listen to what you have to say. Together! Okay, wake her up. Are you awake? Kali says it's time for breakfast. Come on, get up! Good morning! How are you feeling today? Good to hear. It looks like we've recovered pretty well. Not even Tainari could stop us from going... Come on, Traveler!
Good morning. Looks like you're awake.
Yep.
I prepared some breakfast today. Please have a taste. I hope you'll like it.
It's nice to have you here so we can...
Well, now that I've recovered from Elazar, I'm feeling better than...
And Paimon bets they're all
Oh, by the way, someone brought a letter for you after you went to sleep last night.
Nope. Paimon wanted to read the letter with you after you woke up. Oh, it's from Milu. Ahem. We're going to hold a feast at the Grand Bazaar and celebrate as heroes of Sumeru. Please be sure to attend.
Oh, I've also heard that you've become heroes here as well. That's amazing. Everyone's aware of your abilities. There's no...
Anyway, let's go to the Grand Bazaar to have a look.
Oh, before you leave, be sure to inform Master Tainari.
Tainari!
Good morning. How do you feel today?
We feel much better. How about you?
I'm recovering well. Thanks for...
Well, from the looks of it, you seem to be already...
It's fine. The Elazar patients have recovered, as well as Hypatia. For now...
It seems once Irminsul started getting better...
Yes, but there are still some residual... The withering is one example. Though it won't spread anymore, the existing zones won't just disappear.
By the way, we have some good news.
This news is hardly new.
Huh? You mean he was already...
He visited once, but he was afraid of disturbing you.
And you probably already know all about the
Celebration feast? No.
Huh? But didn't Milu say in her letter that they would
Perhaps.
Come to think of it, Sino doesn't seem... You and Kale are both Sino's close friends.
Kala has taken over some of my tasks these days. I don't think she'll have time for it. You see, some VIPs have come.
Huh?
Well, technically speaking, they are former VIPs. The sages involved in recent.
Huh?
Yes, he's a little weak, but he isn't injured. Lesser Lord Kusanali, in her boundless mercy, has decided to spare Azar and the other wrongdoers. When they learned that Lesser Lord Kusanali had defeated the Balladeer and saved Irminsul, they were shocked at first, but also became happy. As a result, work has increased.
That sounds really...
There's nothing we can do, but that's another topic. Back to the matter at hand.
Ah, right! We're here to record...
You've recovered well. You may go.
Yay! Woo!
Well, there won't be any problems if the feast starts at that time. Everything
Mr. Zubair, I finished tallying things up here. Well,
is a simple reply really that?
Oh, it'll be fine.
I was thinking this. Hey, Nilu! Traveler, Paimon! We got your letters, so here we are! You're the best. The other guests haven't even... Huh? Yeah, I had someone deliver...
Look, I get it. Sumeru is in an extremely important period of transition right now, but Nilu is Sumeru's #1 celebrity after all. You have...
If you consider enjoying Nilu's dances having good taste, then almost everybody, because Paimon thinks everybody...
That's right. We all think Nilu is an absolute favorite among those of us who frequent the Grand Bazaar. Master Zubair, let's have a vote for the most
Nonsense! It is not for us to determine, but indeed, we could try giving gifts.
Ooh, good idea.
I don't want you... There's always a lot going on at the Great... Yeah, and that's Traveler and Paimon. Could you help confirm if the letters were... If for some reason they didn't receive the letters... Yeah, we can also check out how everything in Sumeru is going... When I wrote the letters, I heard them ask for Sino. I'm not too sure about Ramon's where. As for Dunyarzad, I just hope she's feeling better. Okay, got it. Let's go, Traveler. We haven't seen Alhaitham anywhere. Let's ask that person. Hey there, have you seen Alhaitham around?
Yes, it seems scribe out, but you're already the second.
Oh? Who else?
Mr. Cave was just here asking about. Don't tell me everyone's here looking for gossip about the sage.
No way. We're strict.
Ah, I see.
should be around here somewhere, right? Oh, he's over there! But it looks like he might not have time for us.
Just put down that worthless book and tell me what happened in the academia.
This is not just some worthless book.
It doesn't matter. It's probably just another thing that you used your authority to get your hands on anyway.
Oh, you sound surprised.
Would I be here asking you if I knew? You're the scribe.
Well, I almost became a sage.
Huh?
Oh, don't sound too surprised now. You're the renowned Kaveh, light of the Ksharawar. Besides, as a master builder and craftsman, chances are you'll be appointed as a sage too.
Why do I feel like you don't really mean it?
What makes you say?
Maybe it's because you've never said anything good about me before.
Yeah, well, I share a similar sentiment. And anyone who knows you as well as I do would surely...
You... See? This is why I hate discussing anything with you. You're ridiculous and arrogant.
It seems that you really can't stand my personality.
Ha!
Well, then you might as well...
Are you threatening me? Ugh, and don't change the subject. You, a sage? What a joke. The academia might as well just close tomorrow.
Are they having a fight?
Forget what's going on with the academia. Haven't you been busy with your construction?
Don't get me started.
So, what great building did our...
Like I need to tell you.
No, I think we deserve to know.
I was in the desert for a large project, but considering Haravatat's utter ignorance, which is truly unfortunate, I could... Hold on, wait a second.
What? Well, while you were out fiddling around...
Ha! And you...
Look, all you really need to know is that Azar and all his accomplices...
Huh? What nonsense?
It's no skin off my nose if you don't believe me. It's not like my dart...
You know what? I'll ask around. I'm sure someone knows what's going on here. You're dead if I find out you're lying to me.
Oh, it's you two.
We're running some errands for Nilou. Have you received her...
Letter?
Nilou said she sent out a letter inviting everyone to a celebration.
If she addressed the letter to all Haytham of the academia, then the letter should have gone... I've been busy these days, so I haven't had time to check for any new mail.
Have you always been so busy?
Of course not. I'm only busy these days because several...
Kainari told us they all went to train in the event...
That is already the best possible ending for the likes of them. 4 of the 6 great sages were possessed by their desire for power and attempted to create a new god. In order to pull it off, they even imprisoned the other 2
Yeah, you're right. Huh. Feels kind of...
Yes. It's said that when the academia was first founded, the Dendro Archon herself, numerous Darshans have sprung up and faded. Only the 6 Darshans attaching themselves to the... Now, the 6 Darshans are nearly synonymous with the 6th great school. Among the 6 great sages, there is one central leader. Unfortunately, only the sages from Vahumana and Amorta remain now.
So who's managing things in the other 4 schools now?
Yes. Normally...
Oh, didn't you just say something about becoming a sage? If they pick you, then we'd have a huge connection in Sumeru.
Yes, about that. You didn't let me finish my sentence. The person in charge of personnel affairs nominated me to be the Grand Sage in place of Azar and help Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Huh? But...
I'm not even interested in being one of the 6 great sages.
Oh, all right.
That's not my job either. I'm only responsible for handling important affairs within the... And the first thing I'll do is reject Kasharawar's...
By the way, who is...
Do we look like friends?
Paimon doesn't know.
His name is Kaveh, my roommate. You could say he's the representative, which is exactly why he always has...
So everything that's happened recently must be a huge change for the people of Sumeru.
Such is the work of the Academia Square.
Well, anyway, no matter how busy you are, since you are...
All right.
Is that Paimon I hear?
Huh?
Oh, it's been a while.
Dinnerzad! It's been so long since we've seen you!
I'm doing well. I can go as far as saying, I don't know if you've heard, but Alizar has completely disappeared, and all the patients have recovered.
Are you kidding? Knowing them and the connections they've got, I'm
Yeah!
That's right. My lady is feeling better now.
Why do you still call me that, Dia?
I guess I'm...
Resignation?
Yeah, I might start losing my edge if I keep being a bodyguard for the Homayanis.
You know that my parents and I are fond of you, and I appreciate you.
I'm not a woman that's easily persuaded. When I took this job, I had already decided that I'd quit as soon as you recovered.
So what are you gonna do now if you're...
I want to take a risky job.
Huh? But we literally...
I know. If I hadn't joined in that plan with you, I guess I still get fired up by that feeling of going all... Life is short, and I'm happy that I got to be a part of that operation. But the whole thing also made me realize that there are still many problems.
Well, I remember a friend...
You mean I'll hate them? I didn't expect him to still remember that.
We just came from talking with All Hate...
Did he tell you that he suggested that I come work at the Academia?
What?
I heard that Azar and his cronies fell from power, and All Hate...
Whoa. Paimon can't see you being anything other than a mercenary.
Me neither.
Ugh, forget about it. I'll hate them probably just like the way I worked and knew...
But you know, if you take them up on the off, because you're super...
The Matra have all the talent they need as long... In fact, I chose this job from the very...
Even if being a mercenary means face...
A lion has to return to the wild sooner or later. If anything...
I don't want to see you...
I'm glad to hear you say that. Come on, no need for the sad face. It's not like we'll never meet again once the whole Dendro Archon thing is settled, but a peaceful society will probably mean less demand for mercenaries like me. Before long...
Huh? But...
Well, no, not yet at least.
So, have you been in Port Ormos?
Oh, did Neil...
She heard that you were seen in Port Ormos, so she...
Huh. It was probably sent... My lady has been very energetic lately, and keeps taking me on hikes.
Right, and we tend to leave quite...
So what it really sounds...
I bet the letter's at the reception desk.
No wonder there wasn't a reply. You never received...
Sorry to make you too...
It must be something important for Nilou to
Yes! She said they were preparing a victory feast in the Grand Bazaar.
Great!
Count me in too. But is there some sort of dress code or anything for the feast? Can I...
Since it's being organized by Nilou, I don't think she'll be too...
All right, then.
The feast will be held in 2 days.
Sure.
Thank you so much for letting us...
Oh, by the way...
The General Mahamatra always comes and goes without a trace.
Oh.
But last time we met, he mentioned that he had something to... As for Raman, your guess is as good as mine. I only remember he said that he had something to discuss. Don't mention it.
All right, on to our next... We last visited Aru village. Ah, there's Sino!
What brings you here?
We recovered well, and Tanari agreed to let us leave, so now we're out and about again.
It seems Gandharvaville's medical treatment is still as good as ever.
Mm-hmm, and Tanari is recovering well, too.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, you're the one who brought us to him when we lost consciousness, right? Thanks for that.
You're welcome. Tainari has excellent medical skills, and Kale is quite attentive. It was the best place for you.
But why are you just standing here like a dead tree?
I'm meeting some people.
Oh, you mean Candace?
I've already talked with Candace and the village chief. They're still at the usual place. You can go there if you'd like to see them. But you know one of the people I'm meeting as well.
Oh, by King Deshret's blessing, my friend suddenly appears in the desert. Don't tell me you've run into trouble and need us to help now.
Ramon! And... huh? Sataria?
Oh, you know me?
Oh, well, you're pretty famous in the academia.
Don't worry, these are our friends. No need to be so guarded.
I see.
I'm doing well. Many good things have happened recently.
Same here. Really, I feel that my whole life has started to shine after suddenly finding a new direction.
Oh, tell us everything.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Alright, well, I suppose I should start by saying I've decided to leave the academia.
What?
It's not that I've given up on being a scholar. Instead, you could say I've found a new identity. I will no longer pursue research like a typical scholar, but I have not completely given up on my relationship to knowledge either.
I can see what you're saying now.
What do you mean?
I plan to leave the academia and return to teach here in the desert.
Wow, so you want to become a teacher?
Sataria will return to support education here and teach people from the desert. She can't teach everyone on her own, but there are many of us Eremites all over Sumeru. She came to discuss a collaboration with me and hoped that I could bring her ideas to the Eremites.
Yes, it's my hope that the Eremites can help me select a group of smart people with the best aptitude for teaching. I'll teach them, and after they've finished learning from me, they can go educate more people. That is the true meaning of education and the spreading of knowledge.
The people of King Deshret suffer from sandstorms, exile, and ignorance. Miss Sataria is more than welcome to come teach here. Her arrival is like a star shining in the desert night. The stars have always guided caravans, thieves, soldiers, and travelers who get lost in the night. They lead those in the dark out of trouble and back to safety.
Oh, please. Where's all of this coming from? I'm starting to feel a little embarrassed.
You deserve these compliments. Mercenaries are accustomed to danger and don't fear death, which is why we recognize extraordinary actions that common people would easily overlook.
Sataria's idea will bring much good to many people.
At first, I feared it was destined to fail. Everyone knows that the academia doesn't allow scholars to teach in the desert without permission. As you know, all knowledge is under their surveillance and control, and very few desert dwellers are as lucky as me. But what I heard at that time has been haunting my heart, as if there were lightning bolts constantly bombarding my soul. Sataria, you tread a treacherous path, and the longer you ignore it, the tighter the academia's grasp on you will become. Sataria, why haven't you gone home? Never forget that the desert that belongs to you lies elsewhere.
Miss.
These words sparked something in me, and I knew that I had to bring something back to my people after going home. I gathered up the courage to approach the Grand Sage, only to find that he was no longer at the academia. Lord Sino told me that Azar didn't belong there anymore.
Azar has received much-needed punishment. Though, if you ask me, it may have been too light.
Lord Sino helped me obtain permission to leave the academia for the desert, and accompanied me here to discuss collaboration with members of the Eremites. My plan was able to go smoothly thanks to him and Ramon.
You're all doing so much for the desert.
Aside from that, I also have some other business to discuss with Sino.
Lesser Lord Kusanali has allocated many resources to support and develop the desert. I've done some business for her, and part of it required the assistance of the Eremites. I applied for a few batches of educational materials from the academia, and sent them to several groups in the desert, as instructed by Lesser Lord Kusanali. I believe the people will make good use of them.
That's exactly what the people here need. Physical books and other related items. If it weren't for Sino and Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'm afraid we'd never be able to get our hands on them.
Apart from this, the Academia is also recruiting scholars that are willing to teach in the desert. I'll let you and Satarian know as soon as I have any more news. We must be persistent about this, and maintain these resources to ensure long-term effectiveness.
This is the first time in hundreds of years we've had a glimmer of hope. I think this may be the turning point for the desert. Remember these words. Here lies our faithful priest, Kasala. I hope people with wisdom like that priest will rise again among the desert dwellers.
Enough about us. Are you here to discuss?
No, not at all. We're actually here on behalf of... Nilu wanted to write to everyone, but she wasn't sure where a celebration feast will be held in 2 days at the feast. We'll also be celebrating Sino's although, judging from your appearance, it seems...
Celebration? Feast? It's the first time.
Tighnari was right. He really did...
This feast is for you!
It's rare to see that kind of expression from Lord Sino.
No, not really. But
well, I still have a lot to handle here. Besides...
I'm afraid I won't be able to join you. The messages. I'm sorry for how I treated you before. But now I understand. You and the art you symbolize are not only beautiful, but also please keep dancing. And someday, I'll be able to appreciate...
Okay, we've got all that down. Our job here is complete as well. Oh.
Got it.
Well, today's the big day! Let's go to the Grand Bazaar and see how the celebration... Everybody's already here! Looks like we're the last ones to arrive.
I'm here.
Ah, there you are.
Well, look who finally decided to show up.
You look like you came here immediately after finishing up some work.
But we're not late, are we?
I propose that the last one who arrived be put...
Nah, there won't be any speeches today.
Oh, really?
Come join us over here. Let's share some great food and drink.
Everything looks...
Wow! Paimon can't wait! Whoa! It's so delicious!
The food was specially prepared for you by everyone in the Grand Bazaar. Everyone that came said that you saved Sumeru and wanted me to...
Ah, feels kind of nice to be seen as a...
Being a bodyguard is also a hero's job. You've always...
My lady sure has a...
And I'm happy to meet everyone that participated.
Don't mention it.
Come to think of it, we've really done something impressive.
We owe it to our abilities. And luck.
Really? Why do I remember everybody thinking that luck was a...
That's how I remember it.
It's luck that brought us together, and it was luck that let us form a team. Then, it took even more luck for... Moreover, judging from...
Yeah, Everyone gave it their all. It was almost like a performance. Everyone played their part. And thanks to everyone's efforts.
So, would you say we're good actors too?
It's such a blessing that Lesser Lord Kusanali was—
Yes! Even after being abandoned and neglected so many times, she's finally returned. Lesser Lord Kusanali once used all her power in a great disaster, which resulted— This should be something everybody should remember. Huh? You look surprised.
No, everything you said is...
That's good.
Something wrong?
Yeah, what's with that face? You knew all of this already.
Even if those two giants of the Academia, those sages really have some nerve. 500 years ago, Lesser Lord Kusanali used all her power for the people of Sumeru, and... If you bite the hand that feeds you, don't act surprised when it—
Perhaps I shouldn't say this, but their treatment of—
You could simply tell Lesser Lord Kusanali that you wish to have Azar and his—
I respect our deity's decision. And while we're on this topic, why didn't you—
Are you trying to say that I'm fit to be a—
Not at all.
Why? Because he dethroned Azar from power?
Could you try to put it another way?
But seriously though, I always wondered—
I did have my own motive. If the rules of our nation were suddenly cast by the wayside—
By that, you mean your life working as—
Precisely.
Wait, so that's the only reason why you—
It's reason enough.
You've certainly—
You flatter me.
All right then. How about you? You've already
That's right.
Will you be happy with it?
It's not about being happy.
Even so, keep your spirits up and try to—
Thank you.
I seldom participate in such lively gatherings. But no, the Grand Bazaar is lively because the people here— That happiness is an emotion that— I seem— Oh well.
My lady, the grilled meat over there—
Yes! I also tried some fruit just now. What an amazing place to relax.
You said it. Oh, look who else is here.
Hello! Oh, I'm so happy Nilou invited everybody. Oh, now I have to—
Hey, less of that polite chit-chat and more eating.
The atmosphere here is good. I don't often come to— I have a lot to handle these days.
There you are. Well, how is it? It's the first time I've ever— You see, every guest here is quite extraordinary. Make sure you live it up tonight. I'll be— I'm honored to have her think of me this way. If I have a chance— I can't explain why.
Hey, what's wrong? Your head is starting to droop. Hey, you can't just fall asleep here. Paimon will go find something delicious for you to eat. You'll wake up once you've put— Of course, just wait.
It's me. You may blame me for being a bit too self-indulgent. The connection between us is amazing. It's like Flora and... I heard there's an amazing celebration feast today at the Grand Bazaar. Lately, I've been so busy dealing with all the fallout. Although you've already helped me with a lot. Please say thank you to everyone for me. Is it not convenient? But if I just show up all of a sudden, what if I end up scaring them and ruining this wonderful feast? Okay. Yes, I have. You said I should go thank everyone as myself, right? So... I've decided to borrow your body for the time being. Please don't blame me. The flora also climbs up to the fence to get closer to the sky. Everyone! Are you awake now? Paimon was just about to bring you the It's me. Huh? That
Hold up, what's going on?
I didn't expect to have a conversation with the consciousness of Lesser Lord Kusanali in the Grand Bazaar.
No, of course not. Are you... Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Hello, Nilou.
You know who I am?
Yes. I already know every one of you. Nilou, I'll hate them, Sino, Dia, Paimon, and Dunyarzad.
Lesser Lord Kusanali?
I took the liberty of occupying the Traveler's body so that I could thank all of you in person. Thank you so much for rescuing me, even if that meant placing your own safety in peril and taking the risk of becoming enemies with the Academia, the sages, the doctor, the balladeer, and even the entirety of Sumeru. Without you, without any of you, I would have been had you not helped me to resolve the crisis. Not only I, but Sumeru and even the entirety of Teyvat would have suffered great misfortune. People refer to you as the heroes who managed to rescue a god. Please, allow me to present to you my most sincere gratitude.
Lesser Lord Kusanali, you have done so much for Sumeru, and...
Dunyarzad, the suffering you endured during your illness...
You don't need to be so ceremonious.
This is how the relationship between the Academia and Dendro Archon should be.
You're an Archon, but you act so humble.
I'm honored to have been able to take part in the...
Thank you, all of you. Thank you so much. Yeah. Are you awake? Did you rest well? After Nahida left, you ate a lot of food. You've become a glutton. That just means you still have a... All right, since you're awake now, she should be in the Academia right about now. If you have any questions, now's your chance to ask. Hello, Traveler and Paimon. What a fantastic night. I'm still immersed in all the happiness and joy. So are we. And that's why we're here to talk. Is there anything you want to know? After recent events, the Akasha can no longer... I've given it some thought, but this is definitely not a bad thing. Even from the beginning, I've been planning to The Akasha's centralized administration of knowledge has always restrained people's curiosity, and although people may initially feel a little uncomfortable with the loss of the Akasha, and as for the future of Sumeru, the former sages have received their punishment. But I hope that the new 6 great sages will be more focused on academics. Sumeru needs such leaders more than ever. The other big issue is the people of King Deshret. I've already taken some measures to address this. It will take some time to rebuild everything. You mean, what happened after the doctor put... Not exactly. The top-ranked Fatui Harbingers, up to number... However, in spite of the bad situation, I still managed... I'm sure you remember the entity that changed your fate. The Heavenly Principles. In fact, the Heavenly Principles has been quiet since the Conria disaster 500 years ago. I told him that the Heavenly Principles may be awakened if I destroy the Gnosis. I assumed that the Heavenly Principles wouldn't just stand by, and as for what I exchanged, the exchange served as both punishment for the doctor, as well as a boon of... He's still in a coma. I've hidden him like how one would hide a feather. I know you have many misgivings about him, but as someone who had become a god, he has... Don't worry, I'll keep an eye on him. In addition, there are still some mysteries left in him. Some things may be very clear from my perspective. His future will be determined by... Is that where you're headed next? Fontaine, the Nation of Justice? As far as I know, that nation operates on the...
Does their Archon personally judge people?
No, there's a Chief Justice in Fontaine. Generally speaking, the Hydra Archon, Fossil... However, even then, Fossilor will still make herself present as Archon. She still reserves the right to... Anyway, let's... Are you sure? Isn't there something else you haven't asked about yet?
Huh?
While you were resting at Gandharvaville, I took some time to perform an Irminsul search for information on your brother.
Yeah! Isn't Irminsul a repository for all the information?
This is true in your case. However, there must be something different about your brother. Because...
What?
There's only one possible explanation.
But nothing about this makes any sense! Wasn't this your first trip to Teyvat?
According to the records I was able to... After the Conria disaster, he began his... But just as his journey was about to reach its conclusion...
What do you mean, Fuzzy?
All I know for sure is that somebody, Faris and whoever it is, if they can do that...
But even that wouldn't explain how he somehow comes from this world.
Something else I noticed was that according to these records, the Fatui have not classified your sibling as one of the...
What's a descender?
Look, I'm sure you must be curious about the information I received from the Fatui in return for my Gnosis, right? A very important part of the intel was about this world's descenders. Traveler, you are Teyvat's 4th descender.
Huh? So the Fatui count 3 other descenders before the Traveler and her
That's right. My current hypothesis is that the first descender was... As for the other descenders...
Paimon...
And yet, even knowing all this, there are many questions in my heart as well. I will need some time to go through each one of them. And soon, you'll also begin your journey anew and depart from Sumeru. I'm very interested in your future. It's a journey that can't be observed or recorded by this world. If fate is the ultimate knowledge, then your
I'm sure glad we got to meet.
The pleasure is all mine. Alright, that's enough talk for today. If you...